Later we headed towards Whitley Bay, just a few minutes drive from the city centre. Sanjay has invested heavily in glamour and celebrity. For instance, he established a special Colleen perfume built around Colleen Rooney, who's become a favourite with celebrity magazines after marrying England footballer Wayne Rooney.
Colleen will be on those magazines every week. You know, what's she up to? Where does she go shopping? Where's she been out eating? You know, and the public are naturally interested in having a piece of that lifestyle or knowing what those stars are getting up to.
So that's the attraction. People want to be like her. So
yeah, it's having. With Colleen, she's a special girl. She's down to earth, girl next door, done well, marrying Wayne Rooney, footballer, and then she's made herself a successful person as well. In her own right. When we took on Colleen as a brand, we saw the management plans, we saw where they were going to take her as a person and a brand, rather than it just being a one-year celebrity. Because we have done fragrances where we've just done a one-year fragrance for a celebrity. But then there's fragrances like David Beckham, Victoria Beckham, you know, which have been going for 4 or 5 years since they were launched. Right. And they've progressed, and you know that's exactly the same thing. There are celebrities that are high profile enough for the brand to work worldwide, and the biggest selling celebrity fragrance is Elizabeth Taylor White Diamonds, right. Which has been going.
That's the biggest in the world still?
Yeah, still the biggest in the world. And then Sean John, P. Diddy, also a very, very big selling fragrance. There's trends in the market, and I think we've probably come out of the peak celebrity trend. So for us, there are still celebrity fragrances that are being developed. So Beyonce is going to be launched at the end of this year. And I think that's a global celebrity. So I think global celebrity fragrances will still do well. But I think in the essence of new celebrities for ourselves, for us to look at taking out licensing or manufacturing opportunities, then I think we're now looking at more designer-led brands that have got a more sort of brand heritage and longevity where they come from, in the sense of design, fashion, luxury. You know, we want to go more towards that area.
So it'd be more a Gucci rather than a Jennifer Aniston, or
hopefully something like that. Yeah, Jennifer Aniston's coming out with a fragrance as well this year.
Is there room in the market for all of these? I can't believe there is.
There's. I think it's said that there's about 700 to 800 launches every year.
What, of perfume?
Of fragrances, yeah, and only a minority make it, you know, to be very successful.
It's estimated that the world fragrance market is worth well over $30 billion a year. There's been spectacular growth in the last 2 decades. Sanjay's fragrance chain, for instance, is expecting to open 25 new shops every year. Europe still accounts for about 40% of the world market, but the Middle East is perhaps the fastest growing, fitting as the first perfumes were used in religious rituals by the ancient Egyptians.
It's been around for centuries, and you've had Cleopatra using fragrances. You've got Indian, they used it with raw oil fragrance many centuries ago. So fragrance has been about for centuries and centuries.
What is it that perfume is made from? Where do the raw materials come from?
Come from flowers, obviously, oils that are created through the flowers, and they're mixed together to get different notes. So there's different ingredients from different flowers used to create the different notes.
Okay, so that's it. So can we just try some?
Yeah, so this is Colleen Summer, which is a fragrance just for the summer, so this will be a lot more light.
Right.
If you take a smell of that. So the top note you're going to smell there is the mandarin orange bergamot.
So, and I don't mean this in a rude way, because perfume's quite expensive.
Yeah.
And there's a sort of part of me that thinks it's money for old rope in a certain sense. You know, tell us why. I mean, am I right in thinking that or not?
The ingredients you use, obviously, like sandalwood is a very expensive raw ingredient that goes into fragrance. So the more sandalwood you would have in a fragrance, the more expensive it would be. But the actual fragrance cost it's in essence the packaging, the bottle, and then the majority of the cost is the media, for it to come to life. You know, in essence, it's creating something out of nothing as an experience, a lifestyle, whether it's a celebrity lifestyle, whether it's a fashion designer lifestyle, and it's bringing that into the luxury world. And I think that's where the money is actually spent from.
It's a stupid thing to say. Is the smell actually the least important thing?
I'd put it in the following ranks. Number one is the packaging is the first thing you see, and then you look at the brand, the second thing.
Right, so it's first sale, packaging, image, but if you're going to get them to come back...
It's the fragrance. The fragrance has got to be the ultimate. The fragrance has got to be right, because at the end of the day, you could buy a fragrance solely on the brand name and the packaging, but then if nobody likes it, you don't like it, you're not going to come back and buy it.
Ever since his first concession stall, Sanjay's business has been largely about negotiating, doing deals with various perfume suppliers. He told me more over dinner.
The most important thing with negotiation is that you have to have an objective.
Right.
And I think as long as you know where you want to get to.
So you have to be realistic.
I think you've got to be realistic. When it comes to negotiation, it's all about making sure you know where you want to get to. Because if you're reaching for the stars, you know, you may not be approached by the supplier again for the future.
Yeah.
You might get the one deal, and you won't be the first one
Yeah.
that they come to. So you always got to leave a little bit for the person selling to you as well.
How hard is it? Because you invest a lot of energy into a negotiation, a big deal, you know. How hard is it to walk away? But is there sometimes that you just have to say, right, I'm off out the door?
I think you've always got to be prepared to walk away, because if you show too much desire for something, you're almost losing the negotiation. So that's got to be part of your setup, you know, in the way you play this negotiation with the people your discussions with. So I think you've always got to be prepared to walk away, even in your own mind. If it's nowhere near the price or the conditions you were prepared to accept, then you've got to be prepared to walk away.